We are Soccerphiles Canada. Check us out by searching International Soccer Preview. Welcome to Series 30, looking at the players of the 2025 Gold Cup. This episode is looking at the players of Guadeloupe. Part 2, the selections. Here we go! And we'll start with the manager, Jocelyn Angloma. There since 2017, and throughout this whole period, we consider him a definite candidate, as it were. For goalkeepers, we had a definite candidate in Bryce Cognard, and two likely candidates in Davy Rouillard and Rubens Adelaide. All three of those players made it to the final squad. So Bryce Cognard, Davy Rouillard and Rubens Adelaide. We had a possible candidate in Teddy Bartouche Selbon, and he made the preliminary squad, but not the final cup. We generally won't cover players below that level. For starters, we think likely starter Bryce Cognard, but possibly Rubens Adelaide and Davy Rouillard. In fact, there's not a lot of positions here where we can be definite about the starters. Okay, let's move on to defenders. We did actually have a versatile defender because he plays kind of all over the field, not only in defense, but further upfield too. Anthony Barron, he was a definite candidate for us, and he was selected for the final squad. For central defenders, we had a definite candidate in Medellina, he was selected, and a likely candidate, Nathaniel Santini, also selected. Our two possible candidates, Stevenson Casimir and Kenji Montantin, we thought would be selected because they don't have a lot of candidates here, but both of those only making the preliminary squad there, so just two players coded as central defenders. We do have our versatile defender, Anthony Barron, also. For starters in central defence, again, we can't put a definite starter, but we think Medellina is a likely starter, probably the most likely of the group. And then possible starters, Nathaniel Santini, right back Dimitri Caver, Christopher Julien, and we should have introduced him, he was a new candidate, Christopher Julien, so that makes three here, and versatile defender Anthony Barron, all of those possible, and probably in that order, Santini, Caver, Julien and Barron. We're not sure how Julien is going to fit in there. Okay, to the left back position, and we just had one candidate on our list here, and it was Jerome Roussillon, and we consider him a definite starter in the position. We think his first backup will be right back Junior Senevel, who we'll meet right away here. In fact, we're moving on to right backs. We had Junior Senevel as a definite candidate for selection, and he was selected. We also had likely Zoran Moko, who was also selected, and possible candidate Dimitri Caver, also selected for the final squad, and even a new candidate, Ivan Macon. So four players selected who are coded as right back, so we assume that they'll be covering other positions, just like Junior Senevel at left back there. In terms of starters as right back, though, things were a bit up in the air, so we couldn't predict a definite or likely starter. Just possible starters, Zoran Moko, Junior Senevel and Dimitri Caver, possibly in that order, but we don't think there's a lot between them. It could be any one of the three. We'll move on to the midfield there and start with defensive midfielder. So we had a definite candidate in Andrew Gravion. He turns out to be not fully recovered from his injury. He was not even named to the preliminary squad there. And we think that's all due to his injury. And then we go down to the possible but unlikely level. Alexander Arenet was selected, probably because Andrew Gravion was not. We also had Morgan St. Maximin at the possible but unlikely level, but he was selected for the preliminary squad, as was seemingly off the squad Quentin Annette at the preliminary squad. Well, we'll go look at some of the other candidates in central midfield before considering the starters there. For central midfielders, we had no definite candidate, but a likely candidate in Jordan Laborn, and then and he was selected for the squad. Two possible candidates, Steve Solvet just made the preliminary squad there, but the other one, Noah Cadieu, was selected for the final squad. And then seemingly off the squad, Johan Rotson, not off the squad as much as we thought. He was selected for the preliminary squad, didn't make the final cut. We're going to do a couple of more categories before considering starters. For left midfielders, we had Benoit Guédion at the possible level. He only made the preliminary squad. And for right midfielders, the only candidate we had was seemingly off the squad, squad, Dimitri Ramote. He was selected for the preliminary squad but didn't make the final cut. And then we had two players just generally coded as midfielders. The first was likely candidate Kayvan Beaumont, and he was selected for the final squad, and so was the possible candidate Johan Angloma, 31-year-old son of the manager, selected for the final squad there. So that fills out the kind of central midfield quite a bit. In terms of starters, very unclear over here. We would say the starter is really undefinable. We can't predict definite or likely starters. We can just suggest some possible starters, and this is in no particular order, but we have the versatile defender Anthony Barron, who might show up here, Noah Cadieux, or Jordan Laborn. Yeah, we're kind of waiting to see. We were hoping to get some warm-up games to help us with this, but Guadeloupe didn't play any, so we have to wait until the cup to actually see. Moving upfield to the attacking end of the field, we put Ange Freddy Ploumain as a versatile attacker, as a definite candidate, and Ange Freddy Ploumain was selected for the final squad. Our possible candidate, Marcus Coco, did not even make the preliminary squad there. So Ange Freddy Ploumain shows up all over the attacking end of the pitch, everywhere except in his coded position as left attacker. For left attackers, we had two definite candidates, Matthias Phaeton and Kylian Bevis, both of those selected for the final squad, and we had no candidates otherwise. So in the left attacking end of the field, we think Matthias Phaeton will be the definite starter, so one of the few positions where we're confident we can predict the starter, and then we think Kylian Bevis is his backup on the left attacking side of the field. But these players may show up elsewhere as well. For right attackers, we had no definite candidate, but we had two likely candidates, Florian David and Vikash Tile, both of those selected for the final squad. We had possible but unlikely Jordan Tell, and he was only selected for the preliminary squad. In terms of starters over here, we can't identify a definite or likely starter. We can only put possible starters. We think Florian David, Ange Freddy Ploumain, or even left attacker Kylian Bevis as the three possible starters, probably in that order. All right, Guadeloupe does use a 4-2-3-1 formation quite a bit, which involves a central attacker, central attacking midfielder. We don't have any candidates over here, but it's players from other positions kind of filling the role here. And no definite starter because we're not dead sure they'll use the position, but likely starter Ange Freddy Ploumain if the position is used. We also think that central midfielder Jordan Laborn is possible here in a more attacking role. Okay, on to forwards. We have no secondary strikers there, and the position is not used, so we move on to the actual forwards. Guadeloupe uses a single forward in most games. We have definite candidate Sylvain Merval returning in the period after a 3-year absence, and he was selected for the final squad. We also had two likely candidates in Thierry Ambrose and Kenny Mixter, both of those selected for the final squad, as was our possible but unlikely candidate Tariq Arconte. He was selected for the final squad as well. In terms of starters, here too, we can't predict a definite starter. No one has played in the position consistently enough for us to say that. But we do think Thierry Ambrose is the likely starter, Sylvain Merval are possible starters, and backups, especially if they use a two-man forward line, which they don't often do, but sometimes do. We think joining up front, maybe left attacker Matthias Phaeton, versatile attacker Ange Freddy Ploumain, or Kenny Mixter here, although we see him more as a substitute or bench player. Okay, that is our spotlight review. Check us out by searching International Soccer Preview. We would like to thank Future Bass for the wonderful music you hear in this podcast. The title is called Alone.